Shirley Carr, Canadian Labour Congress, on behalf of the Executive Council.
Shirley Carr, a pioneer in the fight for women's rights and social justice, a woman who led with dignity and determination. Born and brought up in Niagara Falls, Shirley Carr was a pioneer who forged the way for women and disenfranchised people, not only here in Canada, but also around the world. In 1960, Shirley became a member of the Canadian Union of Public Employees, and she never lost touch with her roots. A tireless advocate for women's rights and equality, Shirley broke the glass ceiling by becoming the first woman elected to the Canadian Labour Congress Executive.
Now it is my pleasure to congratulate you as the new president of this Canadian Labour Congress.
In 1986, she was elected president of the Canadian Labour Congress, making her the first woman to lead a national labour body anywhere in the world.
I dedicate to you to work entirely for the workers' rights and for the betterment of all working men and women everywhere, whether they be in Canada or anywhere around the world.
From the day she was elected president, Shirley led Canada's fight against Prime Minister Brian Mulroney's free trade agreement.
We want to talk to him about his economic agenda and his position on free trade. We want to talk to him about what his plans are for jobs for the unemployed and continued jobs for the Canadian workforce in this country. And the most important point we're going to make is that this is our Canada and it's not for sale.
For 6 years, Shirley Carr was the face and the voice of Labour.
I think that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance has listened to the business community, and I think he has given them everything they've asked for. They certainly are not concerned about the massive unemployment we still have, because there's nothing new in what they have said about reducing the unemployment. They seem satisfied with 1.5 million people out of work.
Throughout her career as a union activist, Shirley Carr chose to lead with a calm yet determined style. During the Sandringham Hospital strike, Shirley stood shoulder to shoulder with her sisters, demanding fairness and justice.
They should have a proper salary structure without any discrimination between male and female salary lists, that they should have one seniority list where there's no discrimination between male and female.
When the Letter Carriers Union of Canada struck in 1987, Carr was there on the front lines with the workers. Shirley brought national attention to the Gaynors strike in Alberta.
There is no way that the labour movement will let Peter Pocklington starve his employees into submission. And there is no way, under his direction, is he going to continue to have the police of this province beat our people into submission either. But Peter Pocklington, you also should get a message from us that you have not broken our spirit and you never will.
She joined the fight to save the fish plants in Canso, Nova Scotia.
Why don't we give a big cheer for the crowd that have come from so far and so near here today?
Throughout her career, Shirley Carr stood up for social justice at home and abroad. Her battle against apartheid in South Africa and that of the CLC won praise in later years from Nelson Mandela, who said, "Without the Canadian labour movement putting pressure on your federal government and on South Africa, apartheid would have lasted much longer." In Canada, Shirley led the fight for the rights of all working people, including the unemployed.
Any messing around at all that breaks it down, lowers the benefits, or does anything to it that has a negative impact on the working people of this country, whether they are in a union or not, there will be massive, massive demonstration across this country.
She was awarded the Order of Canada, an Officer of the Order of Ontario, Venezuela's prestigious Order of Diego de Losada, among many others, including honorary doctorates of law from 7 universities and colleges. She served on the governing body of the International Labor Organization. She was vice president of the International Confederation of Free Trade Unions Council, and she built bridges of solidarity with leaders from around the world. The commitment to fight for peace, for unity, for women's and workers' rights and equality, and the fight for social justice throughout the world are Shirley Carr's legacy. She is missed and not forgotten.